These are some Dinar Guru updates, starting off with Militia Man. Says, my take is a float won't work in a digital world. I just don't see it. I think they're going to make an adjustment to their real effective exchange rate, the REER, and I hope and expect it will be better than it was in the previous era. When I first got into this, the IMF had shut them down from 322, so when they reinstate, I think they will start there, maybe add some for inflation, and they probably will do a managed float. Frank26 says it's like a black hole in space. We know it exists. We can see all the evidence. The gravitational fields around the black holes, the evidence of it, you just can't see it. The monetary reform is alive, is moving, is activated. The new exchange rate is coming to the citizens. The currency will float. Everything we want is occurring. We are at the event horizon. All right, clear article quote, Al-Sudani, more than 60% of Iraq's population is under 25 years old. Walking Stick, Aki's Iraq Bank report, not all banks will be brought back even though they will all be online. This is to monitor them. This step has already started. It is already well advanced. Bringing these banks back online is needed for the monetary reform. These banks are scattered all over Iraq. All right, Mark Z via PDK, it's been quiet on the RV front, quiet on purpose. The supposed goal for all my sources was yesterday. They're very quiet, so I know nothing on the timing right now. Many still think they will get it done this month. I sure hope so. We all need it. The world needs it. All right, Frank26 says, all I know is that things are coming to a crescendo. At that high point where there's nothing else to climb, you are at the very end. All right, Sandy Ingram says Iraq has 3 significant tasks before we see an increase in the currency's value. Number 1, rebuild their infrastructure, which they are actively doing. Number 2, making the country safe for citizens, international investors. In other words, stopping the assaults against foreign investors. International investors want to invest in Iraq because their investment will be worth more when the value of the IQD increases. Number 3, creating additional streams of income outside of the oil industry. Iraq is actively making progress by implementing new factories, road projects connecting Asia to Europe, and partnering with a neighboring country to build oil vessels. All right, Caparoni says until Iraq diversifies, creates the conditions, there will be no change in the dinar. Breitling says we have to watch the CBI. Don't listen to what anybody else has to say. Do not contemplate opinions or other ideas. Frank26 Firefly says our government is saying USA defense interest is secured in Iraq for the first time since 2003. Frank says that's when we were at $1 to $3. Iraq agrees on the troops being here in Iraq. I guess Sadani wants you guys here. This is a win-win for us all. Frank says, let's see you try to steal something now. All right, Militiaman article quote, specialist, the path of development gives Iraq an important position in international trade. Militiaman says the development road is the investment side of the tripartite budget. Get ready, folks. We can see the efforts being taken are to join global financial system. There is no denying it, in my opinion. And lastly, Bruce via Wiser Now says we draw a conclusion that maybe we will be able to have access to funds from our exchanges on Thursday. A military source is giving us a timeline that takes us through Saturday to receive notifications and begin exchanges. Let's see what happens. We are definitely on a day-to-day, hour-by-hour basis.